No, I gotta do this thing where I do a sound check to make sure that the sound is working. And it may, hopefully, okay. So here you go. All right. I'm going to try to present this in as dignified a manner as possible because these are completely unreasonable terms. I met somebody within the last 10 days. And the thing is, he's a kickback to somebody I met when I was at a domestic violence shelter called Cornerstone in Chicago. I met this man around the time that somebody made a substantial donation to the shelter of food products that weren't ordinarily used in the kitchen, including organic coconut oil. At the time, if you were a resident, you could get some of the food that they had that was still out because they didn't use it in the kitchen. They would leave it for residents to get for their own personal use. Somebody donated a whole bunch of organic coconut oil. You know, that is when I first started making oils. I took the coconut oil. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I understood at the time. I had an idea. It's something that I had tried to do when I was in Honduras. So I took the coconut oil and kept it where my things were. And around this time, I was volunteering in the kitchen myself. I liked being behind the counter at the kitchen, working with the people in the kitchen, serving the food to the people. I liked this. I met a man, an elder African American man. He said that in his younger days, he had been a businessman. He had been specifically connected to business administration. He had studied it in college, and that he had done business administration for several years in Chicago. He wasn't from the north side, but he had had a stroke. And so he had a problem with mobility. One side of his body didn't move as well, and he had some slurred speech. And he would talk about how sometimes he would have problems focusing. And I talked to him. And I asked him if he would teach me about business. This was the day before I was kicked out of the shelter. The next day, things happened. Well, that's a strange sound. No, he wasn't. That's not who he was. That wasn't his name. That's not who he was. See, at the time, it was important that the banker business person be the blonde woman who had previously been in banking but had gone into nonprofit administration because somebody had a developing paradigm around asset management involving ladies that she was supposed to wrangle and make sure we did what we needed to do to meet the fucking benchmarks the bitch was setting up on us. I'm sorry. I was not allowed to learn business administration or business management from somebody that had practical experience in his hometown. See, I could have helped him heal without your Nazi assholes rigging his entire fucking life on flipping scripts for a bunch of hustlers. And he could have taught me business administration and business management. I already had a business plan. It was actually a fucking business plan. But I was not allowed to do that. And so you had this whole fucking circuit set up. We are coming up on, in 1 month, I am pretty sure in 1 month, it's going to be exactly 5 fucking years since I met that man. And within the last 10 days, you just gave me a kickback. To him, except Texas. Except he's not even from fucking Texas. Yeah, right? What am I supposed to fucking do? Because your racial equity is about a one time bump for somebody on the fucking train. And meanwhile, who is supposed to be the one to get the prize pony at the end of the fucking day? I haven't learned a goddamn thing about business management. I haven't learned a goddamn thing about municipal brokers. I haven't learned a goddamn fucking thing about securities. I haven't learned a goddamn fucking thing about how to even fucking maintain a checking account because I'm not allowed to have a checking account. I haven't learned a goddamn thing about real estate management. I haven't learned a goddamn thing about underwriting on mortgages. According to you guys, I haven't learned anything that apparently I was supposed to be perpetually characterized as a student to learn. And you want all this what? You want throwbacks? You want some representation in the community of being about something more than a bunch of dirty cops and a bunch of hustler lawyers that got disbarred and are trying to fucking figure out how to capitalize on people they slept with while they had State Department cover? I swear to God, that's all you've given me, time after time after time, year after year. And the thing is, I already know what the bonds were you set up and what the deals were that got set up, and who the original assets were as part of those investments that had the profiles that you've been working all over the place. You keep trying to swap out a demographic here and there. It's the same goddamn fucking profiles on bonds that go back 40 fucking years. And you haven't allowed for an accurate characterization of the original bond maturity. You just default before it goddamn fucking yields and roll it over into another fucking scam. And so you're never going to get what you deserve. Stop trying to race bait this shit, assholes. You keep fucking trying to divert the wrong fucking equity to the wrong fucking people, and nobody ends up getting what they're due.